Good Sunday evening, friends and toy family. It's good to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining our first Artistry of Toys critique here, man. We've been talking about it for a while. I'm glad that we're actually on here doing it. So again, thank you all for showing up, for looking around. We've got Nico with us here this evening. Hello, Nico. Most of you
Hello.
guys know him. You all know Gannon down here too.
Glad to be here, man.
So special guest here. We got Blitzfigs. That is Benny. For anybody who doesn't know Benny, he's been in the game for a long time. Has his own shows. He's a good personal friend of mine. He's also the admin who's been with me since the beginning of this for Artistry of Toys. So it's good to always put a face to that name too. We really appreciate you being on, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Man, it'll be fun. So let me see who all is out there in the crowd right now, Nico.
Okay, I'm gonna help you this time with Benny.
Thank you. Hello, Benny.
You make the salutations. I'm only going to pop up people, right?
That sounds good. How you doing, Benny? I'm glad to see you here.
Hola, Flaca.
That's my wife.
I'm like, I don't know that one. I thought it looked familiar. H, hey man, good to see you, buddy.
What's going on, Zach?
There's a spatula there. That's Mrs. H.
Mrs. H. Hola.
Yes.
Good to see you. Flip, hey buddy, man, it's good to see you here. Glad you made it.
Hola, gordo.
Hello, Gordo.
Hey, Gordo. Again, thank you for making it in, man. Daniel,
aka a sage figure artist from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Nice.
Oh, okay, yep. I know who that is.
Frequent flyer over there.
Stubbs.
What up, Stubbs?
We got only one summoner, and it's called Ben. By the way.
Yes.
Hey, Rod, man, good to see you here too, man. We
What's
appreciate
up,
you being
Greg?
here.
What's up, Hunt?
Hunt. Eric, hey buddy.
Good to see you, Eric.
June.
Oh, Thor, hey
Hey,
buddy.
Thor.
June, good to see you, man. Raven's Eye. Yeah.
Don, how you doing, buddy? Glad
Yeah,
you're here,
Don.
man.
Green,
Zach.
yeah. Zach, yeah. Hey buddy. You guys just came over from the other show, huh? That's good to see you guys here. Absolutely.
Marv.
What up,
What are
Marv?
you doing?
Yeah,
What are you
Marv.
doing, Marv, on a Sunday?
AB,
AB.
that's my buddy. That's good, fam. Oh man, everybody's showing up. Thank you guys.
Hey,
It's
well,
great.
That's great, man. Good to see some of you guys, new names in here for the GFPF crowd. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for bringing them over.
Hey.
What up, Tim?
All right, man. So thanks. So what we're doing here tonight, we're going to be looking through Artistry of Toys. Last month we do a collab every month that's based on something to do with photography, whether it be so this one was leading lines, and that's what this is going to be based on. So when we're critiquing photos, I never want anybody to think that we are professionals or that we are knocking a photo down ever. All we're doing is trying to help people where they could have maybe done something a little different, or how we would have set the photo up, or what we would have done to make that particular critique or that particular thing that we were going for maybe pop out a little bit better. So that being said, please, if we're really nice, I promise we're not going to be mean. We are not here to bash photos. We're not here to say that we're anything better than what you're putting out. So again, we appreciate you all being here. Appreciate all of those who put in photos from Artistry of Toys for us to be able to say this, because that takes a lot of guts to come on and have us go through your photos and to look at them and to kind of pick them over. So that's not easy to do. I want to thank GFPF for having us on here. They've been great from the beginning with bringing Artistry of Toys and really trying to help us build it and to represent the best that we can. So thank you guys for allowing us this stage to be able to do it. We really do appreciate that. Behind the scenes today, Stubbs was putting things together. We had Nico walking through for the technical things. Gannon's been on it, so they've helped me so much to be able to be here and doing this. So if you're not following GFPF, if you're just here on the first time because you're with Artistry of Toys, please follow, get into the group. They're a fantastic group of guys. So again, we appreciate it. Gannon, did you have anything to say with that?
No, I just really appreciate everybody being here. I mean, help Jamie represent. Make sure you smash a like button, and if you'd ever be so kind as to hit a subscribe button for us, that just helps us out get to where we want to go and be able to give more stuff away and have more shows like this. That's the dream. We just want to hang out with y'all and talk about toys. So let's do it.
All right. Well, let's. You guys want to just get in this?
Let's do it.
All right. So this first one is by Thor, June. So I chose this one first because it is such a good representation of what we have been looking for with this. The lines down the hallway. So it's not only the walls, but the lines in the carpeting that lead everything to the balloon. Obviously, the balloon being the subject. In that leading line, it tells a story in itself. So great job. Absolutely great job on this one, June. What do you think, Nico?
I had a hard time the first time that I will see it, like seeing the balloon on the back. But once I get that there was a balloon, it was like, okay, everything makes sense. So super well done.
Benny, what do you think, bud?
For me, I feel like the lighting helps so much with the leading line because it's so dark, and then there's that subtle light of the balloon inside the elevator for the balloon. It just made it that much better.
Oh yeah, without that we would have been doing this. Excellent. Gannon?
Yeah, I think just that slight Dutch angle too, like, kind of gives it like the eerie factor, just a little bit offsetting, how it's got just a little bit of an angle at it twisted there. And I think that really helps. Spooky. And I like also too how there's such a great contrast at the end of the picture with the brown and the red, the brown in the elevator and the red. Really, that splash of light up there in the top third of the screen, with the colors, really cool. With everything else being kind of, almost, noirish, like black and whitish. So
yeah, it makes that red really pop.
Yep, absolutely. Without using selective color too, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I like it when it's natural looking,
Yeah, because this looks like it could be right out of cinematics, something that's right out of the film, right?
Yeah.
Excellent job, my friend.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now let's get over here and go to the next one.
By the way, before you start with the next one, there's a cool question here in the chat about this fix saying, how do you get our photos critiques in here? So you can reach Amy. You need to be part of the Artistry of Toys collab group by Jamie.
Deez, look me up. I thought you were in the group. If not, look me up and we will we'll try to get you in. So something about Artistry of Toys that, as the admin and I have talked it over several times, we have capped the amount of people that are in the group at 60 for right now. And the reason why is we get very detailed on what we're going through, and we would like to be able to spend enough time with each one of our photographers, everybody that's in the group. If somebody's having difficulty understanding something, or somebody just can't quite get, I'd really like to be able to take the time with each and every person to help them get the right results that they're looking for. So we figured having 60 people in the group, anything above that, it might start giving us a difficult time of being able to give individual attention to each person. But always send me a message, because as we have people who might drop out, we'll bring some people in. And I do have an ongoing list of people who might want in. So it makes a clicks on Instagram. Send me a personal message. I'll get you on that list. And if I have an opening at the time, I'll just drop you in. So that great question, man. Thanks, Deez. Endless Fables. We just saw you on here. Again, I love the photo. I love the idea of it. I probably, with this one, I would have, this is really good for the one that we're doing right now. So the one that we're working on right now is framing. The framing on this is beautiful. And I've actually used this photo as an example of framing for when people have been asking in that group how to set that up. In this particular photo, I do like the lines in the wall that go down the chains. I think you would have seen that a little better if you would have zoomed in a little more and let him be a little bit bigger. Take some of the outside framing out and make him a little bit bigger. Then the chains themselves would have been a little more of the leading lines also, because you would have had it coming from the top and from the sides, and then the out of focus bars coming up. You would have had everything kind of leading right to the figure. That's my personal opinion. I like what you did. I think it's a great photo. Benny, what do you think, bud?
I think this is an amazing photo, but I also agree with you, Jamie. I think if he would have just zoomed in a little more, it would have just gave more depth to the photo. Being that it's too dark on the top left corner, it kind of takes away from the leading lines for me a little bit. But I think if he would have zoomed in just a little more, it would have been even better. But it's a fantastic photo.
What do you think, Nico?
Same of you. Same you think.
Yeah.
Pretty much the bars and I feel more framed than leading lines. But anyways, it's super cool picture.
Gannon?
You know, the thing about leading lines is that your lines are intended to, you follow the lines, they draw you to the figure. That's the whole intention behind leading lines. So you follow the lines into what then is the subject. This one here, like the framing on it, this is, like you said, the framing's great. But, you know, you're losing your leading lines because the reason that you're capturing the figure in the middle of the photo is because of the framing, not because of the lines. So these guys are exactly what they're saying is right. I mean, you gotta come in and zoom in on the figure more and a little less foreground that's blurred in the frame here that we're making and closer to the figure. So I think I said the same thing everybody else did in a roundabout way. But
yeah, exactly. And I still see it. I still think it's great. I know he when he first sent it to me, he said, if this is good, excellent. If it's not, let me know. And it is good. It is there. I just think, again, had to open it up and zoom in. After looking at it a few more times, that probably would have been what I'd done. But man, the feel of that photo is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I want to. I was going to drop a couple. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I want that one. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you guys. I'm just figuring this out. I'm doing my best. We're getting there. Thanks for your patience with me, everybody. So this one was one of my favorites as far as the leading lines go, and it's such a perfect example in my eyes of what Gannon was just talking about. The lights and the lines should lead you right to the figure. If you look, even in the reflection of the window in the back, all of those lines lead right to his head. That's perfect. He had turned one in where he had been rotated just a little bit, and the lines led out the window to the planet, and the leading lines led you straight to out the window and into the planet. And we were able to, we discussed it, we talked about it and said, you know, if you just rotate that just a hair, and I didn't expect it to look this good when he did. That was so good. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you could think to improve on that, Gannon?
You know, I was just going to praise it. I dig like the kind of the halo of light around Vader's head, you know, you can kind of see whatever those, you know, I mean, it's just, I dig it. Usually I'm not a big fan, but those lines lead directly to that, and it looks like he's kind of standing in a way of whatever's cresting over the, whatever light source, whatever small blue star or whatever's behind his head there. I just really dig that that look. I think it's a phenomenal job on this. Yeah, I don't really have anything about the leading lines is great. So killed it, man.
Benny, what do you think?
I agree. Like the photo's great. The lines are perfect. It leads right to him. The only thing that I would have changed, and that's because I like to mess around with like contrast and black point, is I probably would have made the photo slightly darker, just so that the lights, the lines for the lights would look a little more in depth. But other than that, it's straightforward. It's exactly what the collab was supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I see what you mean. That would have given just a little more pop to the lines to darken that up in the background. Take some of the haze, that upper left-hand corner, taking some of the haze out of that. Yeah, maybe would have blended the figure in a little bit better too.
Vignette too, like a vignette, like in the corners. Like if you vignetted this a little bit, it would have darkened that corners up, and you could kind of blow that, get rid of that. So
yeah, and that would have enhanced the lines leading to him and not taken away. Yeah. Excellent. Nico, what do you think?
I don't know if everybody's seeing this, but I freaking love the detail. If you see on the window, the reflection from the lines and the lights that are inside the ship, the reflections makes an extension of the line going straight into the Vader's head.
Right to his head. Yep. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent job, buddy. Always.
Okay, we got some people here on the chat.
Excellent.
We got this is kind of a statement. I was told to tell you stop send me by Mile High the guy.
What's up, Mile High, man? Glad you're here, dude. Glad you're
thanks,
here.
Stubbs.
We got super powered figures also here.
Yep.
And Connie. What's up, Connie?
Connie.
Yeah. We got this is a strange guy here. Says stop send me to. I don't know. Without.
Oh man, that's cool.
Keep sending them, Stubbs. Keep sending them, buddy. All right. The collector figs, right? Yeah. So, again, excellent use of light. This, when he first turned this in, it took me a minute to figure out how he did it, right? I mean, that he's got, I don't know if it's maybe a barn door to get that light, that sliver of light perfectly at him. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about leading lines, this is exactly what that light does. It leads you right to the figure. And the contrast of light between the wall just next to him and that bright red, it really does help with that too. I would have maybe worked with that shadow that's behind him where the hand is, or opened up the eyes a little bit to where it would have helped make the figure itself pop where the line was leading to. But as far as leading lines go, what it does, this is exactly what a leading line does. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Gannon?
Well, the line leading into the figure that draws your the red light that draws your eyes to him, but also the lines in the garage door or the door there that's running at the same angle that kind of his body's positioned at. So, even with the angle that he's using, the Dutch angle that he's using, those lines kind of all lead right into that figure. So, he's got two different angles coming to the lines. And if you kind of look over even on the left-hand side, I think there's some kind of a barn fence or something there. On the left, I can't tell. It's pretty dark, which is cool. I dig the darkness of this photo. But like those lines are also running and pointing at him of those fence posts or whatever those are coming at him, if I'm seeing that right.
Yeah, good catch on that background, those little lines in there too.
Yeah.
Nico, what do you think, bud?
Not that much. I mean, you say almost everything that I was thinking about. So, amazing shot.
Benny, what do you got, buddy?
I agree with everybody as well. But for me, what helped the leading lines in this photo was actually the little poster on the fence or on that door. It actually makes you lead more towards the character. I feel like if that poster wasn't there, it'll just be flat background. The lines really wouldn't show. The same thing with looks like a palette on the left hand side. Well, at
Yeah.
least for me, it
Yeah,
looks like a palette. If the palette and the poster wasn't there, it'd just be an amazing photo, not of leading lines. So I feel like those two things there helped it out so much.
good call up. Man. You're right. That poster just hits it at that angle, right?
Yeah.
Even the little dots in the ground in the bricks that are kind of pointing also, like they're like little mini lines, like little dashes of lines that are kind of just still. There's a lot of lines in this photo that are cool.
Yeah. Wow. Excellent, man. And this is why I like how when we do these prompts that are, you can use any figure, any character. You're just following something to do with photography or a setup or something like that. It brings out something that maybe somebody would not have thought of or done before.
Mhm.
It really makes you think about the photos that you're taking instead of just taking a picture of something on a coffee table or something. I think I like how that pops. All right, let me get back in here. Oh, my window went. All right, there we go. All right, Whack. Man, let me get back in here real quick. Does somebody else want to start this one out?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So he's using the back of the shark as one of his lines, and he's using the fish here down at the bottom as one of his lines. All the little fish in the background, they're all swimming in the same direction down the same line, and the water coming off of the flippers. I know I just probably pointed out every line in the photo, but I mean, I see where he's going with this. Fantastic shot. I don't have anything to say negative about the shot itself at all. I don't know if it nails the leading lines thing because it's a little bit, I mean, I get it, like in, perspective, looking at it and knowing what it is. If I didn't know this was not a leading lines picture, I may not guess it to be a leading lines picture, but because I do, I see them. So hope that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly, so when he turned it in, I had to think about it for a minute, but then I saw it. One of the things that also caught me was, even though it's not a line that you see, the line of sight from the sharks to the figure kind of draw you there too.
Yep.
Benny, what do you think, buddy?
So just a piggyback, it was an amazing photo. But one thing that I would change for the leading lines is actually the positioning of the figure. I would have had him diving more towards the fish on the bottom left corner as if the sharks were chasing him and the fishes were running as well as the figure. It would actually give a much more of a leading line because it'll show everything. I wouldn't say necessarily in frame for it, but just a clearer version
Turned him
of
like
the
he was
lines.
swimming away. Yeah.
Yeah, just clearer version of the lines, especially with the effects that he put on the figure itself for like paddling. It just would have been so much smoother of a line if the figure was just tilted downward.
Yeah. I get that. Nico, what do you think, bud?
I see the lines. Maybe I will use different effects behind the figure instead of like those kind of splash patterns effect. Make like a line from the propeller on the back, like more like an even line, so you can see like a line that is going behind the subject.
Oh, I get you, to show the motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But very cool.
It's a very nice shot.
I love that photo though, man. Man, that just pops. It's such a cool photo and a great idea. Like it's not something you see all the time, right? That's a really cool idea.
Well, that's the interesting thing too about the type of critique that you're doing on these shows, because it's a fantastic photo. That's there's no doubt about that. And the critique is it the leading lines?
Right.
So that's the thing. Fantastic standalone shot. So.
It's a timely one.
Yeah.
Insta, always cranking out good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So leading lines, a lot of people believe that the leading lines should always be prominent in the foreground or equal with, but this shows something different, and I liked how it did it. So if you look at the door in the background, the line goes down towards them. The lines from the side. But even all of the lines around the archway, all of those lines point to the same place, which just draws you right to He-Man. There's other ones there, but those are the ones that kind of just prominently pop out to me. What do you think, Nico?
I can see a ray of light going in directly into him, and so that can be like a leading line too, because you see that I assume there is kind of a window, and the light's coming from the window towards to him, and so pretty cool.
Yeah. Gannon?
You never hear me say this ever about a photo where I would probably have jumped my f-stop up a couple and seen if I could have got the leading lines just a little bit more in focus, because usually I'm a big fan of, you want that blurred out in the background, you want that, that creamy look in the background. Well, maybe just a couple of f-stops bumped and, you could have accentuated those lines coming in. But I mean, that's a fantastic shot, man. So once again, I'm coming from the leading lines things, all I'm thinking about on this. Yeah, but great job. I mean, I see all the lines you're talking about. So
Benny, what do you think, buddy?
I love the shot. I think that the sword makes the shot. Having the sword positioned where it is tells how much attention to detail he was doing when he made this photo. Because if you shift the photo to the right, or if you shift the photo to the left, or if you want to do rule of thirds, you're still going to see the lines. And I just think, like I said, the sword literally made it.
No. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Because if you take that out, it just kind of, it's just a nice photo. You put that in there, and that is a great piece of art. Huh. Good catch there, Benny.
Thank you.
All right. On to the next one.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave it you guys to this one.
Yep. It's got leading lines, no doubt about it. And I like the way, I mean, that's taking it literal, and it looks fantastic. The lines.
So this was me.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I'm not saying much.
There you go. I mean, hey, and I didn't even notice that. So there you go. I was just looking at the photo. So no, man, this one sucks, dude. What are you talking about? Never mind. I changed my mind. Can I change my vote?
You must kick the guy that made this picture. You kick it out from the group.
Right. I know what he's doing, man. No, this is really good. Yeah, I mean, you did exactly what you're supposed to do on it, man. I mean, the lines are that's where your face go. You follow the lines, there's the figure. I mean, perfect.
So one thing that I do with this group, so I'm the one that usually comes up with the ideas. I bounce them off of Benny and Eric and Sully, and well, one thing that I make sure that I do is I don't take a photo and then come up with an idea. I come up with the idea, and then I take a photo like everybody else does. And this one was hard for me to come up with the idea to do it. I really had to think about it. I really had to come through. And there was, I can't remember whose photo it was, but there was a line of light in it, and it really stood out to me. So I took a piece of foam and I stabbed a bunch of holes in it and put a piece of tin foil on the other side of it so that the light wouldn't bleed through the foam. And then I sprayed some atmosphere to get that light to come through. The only thing about this photo that I don't like, that if I could go back and do it over again, I would, is that one bright light that's going the opposite way of the rest of them, where I realized after I had posted it that some of the light had bled through a little crack in the background.
That's all right. It looks That's all right.
You can always go and use the clone tool in Photoshop and get rid of that bleed.
I would have. I had already posted it before it really started to bug me.
Ah, but it's super nice pic, buddy.
Yeah.
So I was actually going to show that one first, just as kind of an example of what we're looking for, and I didn't mean to kind of put my own stuff in there. Hold on. Here we go. So across the toy multiverse.
This guy always takes cool shots.
Always.
Yeah.
This was one that when it was first turned in, well, I went to the admin because we had questions as to whether it was leading lines or not. So this was really backed out when the photo was first turned in. There was another character there, and he was using the shadow, but you didn't really see the lines at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about it. We discussed it. I told him, crop in, zoom in. You lose one of the other characters, but for leading lines, if you want that shadow to work, leading lines, if you're coming from one of the corners, it always adds more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the corners, coming from a corner down. So this turned out to be good leading lines with the shadow in the background, I think. What do you think, Benny?
So, again, great shot. Love the shot. But for leading lines, something that he could have did just to make it a little more in depth to see the lines clear, I would have positioned the figure where the shadow is on the left, place a light behind it, and he would have had a shadow leaning in front of it, which would have led to the figure itself, as opposed to the figure leading to the shadow.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Oh, yeah. Reverse them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would have had his shadow literally in an angle in front of him, which would have been a leading line to him with the effect in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just turn the figure around the other direction.
Oh yeah,
Kind of, I mean, yeah, and use a bounce card to get some on the face in the front there, and yeah, and you got that shadow exactly what you're talking about. I see exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good shot.
Or even
I maybe would have used a dodge tool.
The shadow too.
Yeah, got to crank the shadows up a little bit on this, maybe, and or a dodge tool there where the shadow is or something, and burn tool, I guess I should say, and burn it down a little bit. But that was good.
Nico, what say you, buddy?
I'm okay on how it's done, because if he has that power in front of him, the shadow will be casted away from him. But I will make some footprints on the snow to make more intense lines towards the figure. Like the figure came from from behind, and where is the shadow, you get those footprints on the snow, and it will be more like lines.
Yeah, the footprints would have added up to it too.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been dope too.
Yeah. That looks like, is it polyfill that he's using for snow?
No, I think this was a real outdoor shot.
Yeah, I think that's a real outdoor shot.
Yeah, he does almost all his shots outdoor like that.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, no, that is good. I wish the full shot of this was beautiful too. I mean, it was a really cool shot, but we were going for leading lines, having to crop in like that made it hit the button a little better.
I keep forgetting you people actually live where there's snow. Some of you folks do. Like I haven't seen snow in 25 years, man. I forgot what it looks like.
Saw snow 2 weeks ago, man, in New York.
Oh man.
We so today it warmed up enough to where I see a little patch of grass in my backyard right now for the first time in a few months.
Wow.
Yeah.
The lawn guy was here the other day, so I mean that's been
Shut up, Gannon.
Get out.
Oh, man.
And Nico's in the middle of a heat wave, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's so cold here.
Yeah.
All right. Let me head on to the next one.
Big She, Stub is asking what's the temperature there.
Oh, it's cold out tonight, Stubbs. I think it's like 61 or something like that.
61 is cold. That's why you have the fire behind you.
Yeah, exactly. I had to put the fire on behind me here. It was chilly. So
So again, an absolute perfect, perfect example of leading lines. And when Flip first turned this in, he was like, I don't know if does this work? Does this work? Yes, that works. That's perfect, man. That is, you couldn't do leading lines better if you were trying, right? Every one of those lines leads to it. The ones on the bottom, even that arrow is headed right to him.
Yeah.
I would have maybe moved the figure this much to the left to where his head was centered between those lines instead of like the top of the bike. But he's still very well centered in there. It's still such a fantastic shot. That would be the only critique I would have had, is I would have moved his head to where it would have been more like the Vader shot we saw earlier, where everything went straight to the head. I would have probably done that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gannon?
Same. I mean, like, you kind of nailed. That's the only thing I would have, is I would have had like right where that man bun comes up. I would have this Budo or whatever his name is. Is that who this is? I think so.
Yep.
Is that the
It's a Budo samurai.
I'd have had that smack in the middle of that arrow, on the ground there, and that would have, got everything. That's nitpicking though, man. I mean, like, it's a fantastic shot. He crushed this big time. So
it's one thing about critiquing. Sometimes you look at something and you're like, I just I could nitpick something, but I don't even want to do that.
yeah. And who knows? I mean, that could just happen too. Sometimes, like, you just press the button on the camera or something and it shifts just a little bit. And, it takes you. I mean, that's such a minuscule amount when you're talking about the distance he's, shooting at and all that stuff. This is gonna move just a little bit one direction and it throws it off. So fantastic shot.
What do you think, Benny?
I agree with everybody when moving the figure more to the center portion of the arrow. But me, and the way I shoot, the only thing I would say that I would change is pretty much the positioning of the head. Like, he's facing, to the to his right. I would have faced him actually probably more towards the lines, like straight forward, maybe in a slight angle, just because he has it to the far right a little bit. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a fantastic shot. I would just change, like he said, nitpicking is at this point.
Excellent job, Flip. What do you think, Nico?
I will take the whole stuff, like the guy, like the Budo samurai and the bike, and you can see there's a perfect triangle. So I will move that triangle a little bit to the left, because so in that way you center everything into those lines, and also you get the same more amount of room on both sides from the wheel of the bike and his leg.
Yep.
That will be perfect. But again, as you guys say, this is nitpicking.
Because the leading lines, they're there. I mean, you can't deny that those, especially the zipping lines there on the sides. I mean, it does bring you right where it's supposed to.
Yep.
But if these little nitpicks that we have, I would have just taken that the figure and the bike and just went, oop, that's it.
Yep.
The clarity, everything about that shot, Flip. Excellent job.
Great job, Flip.
Who is next? Toy Rex. Let me get back in that feeling here.
A cool shot.
It really is, man. And I've tried to do things like this, and I just can never get that focus right to make it look the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Benny, what do you say, bud?
I'm a big RoboCop and Terminator fan. So to see the T-1000 being used like this is amazing. I can definitely see the lines from the split of the head. It's great. I really don't have anything that I would really change. Maybe just darken up the photo a little bit, so that way RoboCop is a little more clearer from the top portion of his head where the gun is at, because it kind of looks like, if you just look at the photo, it's kind of hard to see the weapon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the foreground looking down into that is spectacular. What do you think, Gannon?
Yeah, I mean, I know that we're just talking about leading lines, but I agree. with what Benny said, a little blowout on top of the head there makes it a little bit hard to see the gun. That's it. Like that. Other than that, on this photo, I dig the lines, and I mean, the way that the shoulders kind of V up, also into create the little triangles between the split head and the shoulders. There, those are lines that are leading up to the figure. It's super well done, and very creative, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Nico, what do you think, bud?
Being super nitpicking, I
Give it to us.
Personally, I will maybe use 2 steps more close the diaphragm in order to get a bit of more focus on the T1000, so you can understand the full situation. Like, because it's like you see first RoboCop and then you see try to like process what's happening on the front. It's like, oh right, so like a little bit of more depth of field so you can like get it at the first sight will be perfect.
I get that. Absolutely. Yeah, I did everything you guys said. The leading lines in the middle, the V, the way that comes up. I would have maybe done a little vignette even to kind of give that a little more centered in there, but it's such a cool photo. It did well, man. Did very well.
Heck yeah. The thing is I'm looking to like a lot of these photos too, like Toy Rex here. I mean, 78 likes. Come on, go out and like that photo, guys. Go follow this guy.
Yeah, if you guys aren't following him, if you aren't liking that absolutely. I mean, that deserves way more than 78 people saying
absolutely.
It's cool.
Yep.
And it might be more now. I did save this a while ago.
There you go. Okay.
Wow.
Nobody says the lines have to be straight, right?
Wow. I'm a huge Daredevil fan. Gannon, I know you are too. What do you think, buddy?
I mean, I love the pose on the figure and everything, and just the effort that was put into the wrapping the cable around the batons there. It looks really cool. I think I don't know which one this is. I have I think this is a CT toy version of this, maybe. I'm looking at it because the only reason I think that is because I have one of those and the cable looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
But that's I think that that's a Mafex originally, right?
Yeah.
I think So this could be the Mafex version too, but it's fantastic. Great looking figure, great shot. Love the angle. Yeah, no complaints.
Benny?
I love the shot. I love the idea they were going with. One thing that I would do to make the lines more clear, because I know what he was trying to do with the cable, is I would have probably extended the cable more outward of the photo so I could really give the depth of the lines leading to Daredevil's face. Or I would have just zoomed in where he had it at. And, sometimes less is more, taking some of the background out so that you could see the cable to the face. You didn't need the whole body of Daredevil if you're doing leading lines.
Yeah, if he would have cropped that up a little bit and got just that square there. What do you think, Nico?
Not that much. More or less the same that Benny says. Maybe a little bit of crop and maybe like extending that wire a little bit towards the camera will make more focus into the spiral going to the Daredevil's face. Amazing.
The baton itself makes a cool line right to his eyes.
Yeah.
And then in the background, you got the building there that comes down into a V that points right to him. And then the roads that go to him. Like, I could see all of that. And again, to get leading lines, if you would have brought that up to, say, mid-chest or something like that and made it this way instead of that way, it would have made those things pop a little more. But all of the elements are there. It's still does what it's supposed to do. You still lead right into the eyes. I think that's great. Yep. That is a good one. Did we lose Nico? Oh no, he's just off for a second.
Hey, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Jamie, I can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this has happened
I can't hear
before.
anybody speaking.
Do you think it's because of Nico being gone?
Yeah. I don't know sign language. Leave and come back. So leave and then come back.
Back out and come in.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a StreamYard thing.
Yeah, that is not an us thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had to bounce and come back in, so we're just kind of waiting for him to come back. He lost sound.
Well, we could talk about this until he comes back in.
So again, this one is perfect for what we're doing now. Great for framing too.
Mm-hmm.
Of the leading lines, the best lines that lead to them are the ones in the floor that kind of lead the eye up to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the shot itself is all focused in that way. So, like, was it garbage cans on the side? You see those lights coming in too.
Yeah.
And it took me a little while to realize that there was two people standing on either edge.
Yeah.
And their line of sight is down that way also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I see this more as a framing shot than I do a leading line shot. I think it's a fantastic framing shot. Again, fantastic shot. I love this picture.
Absolutely.
You know, the leading lines. This is more of a framing shot for me than it is a leading line shot. So, but tremendous work. I mean, I see. I
love that. I love that dial. By the way, I don't know if that's something that they made or if that's something that was built or what. Man, that is really cool, though.
Yeah, that is super cool. Of all the little posters and everything. I wonder if Benny was having a different problem than StreamYard.
Nico, what do you think, bud?
Oh, 100%. It's like one of the first ones that we saw. Yeah, you can see the leading lines on the floor and those bricks, but the arch behind and the lights make you feel more framed than leading lines.
Right.
But it's an amazing picture. It's like try to separate. It's a great picture. Where are the leading lines? And I see more of a framing than a leading line.
Okay. But as far as the photo goes, man, that thing is cool.
Yeah.
The colors, the feel, that noir, that just the whole sense of it. You can almost smell that street, right?
Mm-hmm.
you can feel it. Now, the lights themselves do kind of give that. It leads the eye there, but it doesn't do a leading line. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I mean, if we were just talking about, you know, like, hey, let's talk about greatness in a photo, you know, I mean, I'd be like, yeah, 100%. It is a fantastic shot. You know, that's the great thing I kind of like about the way that you're critiquing these, because I mean, we could take a really good photo like this, but, you know, is it in step with what exactly the point of the collab was? And
right.
I don't see a lot of leading lines in this one. I see them enough to get the photo through.
Enough to get it through, right. So that's why, and that was why it passed through. So a lot of it was the flooring, it was the bricks, even that top light, the way it's shining down. If you kind of draw that imaginary line right down on top of them, it's there. But is it if you didn't know it was a leading line shot, would you know it was a leading line shot?
Yeah, I think framing gets confused with leading lines sometimes. You know what I mean? It makes sense why it would. So,
welcome back there.
Sorry.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we were just discussing this one. We all kind of said, you know, you can see the lines on the floor, you can see it in the bricks on the side, but this is maybe more framing than leading lines. Even the light coming down from the top. What do you think, bud?
I agree that it's more framing than anything. The characters, the lines on the side, but also the C and P on the top, the posters. I could see where he thinks leading lines would lead to the figure too, from the middle layers of bricks, just the lines that lead to him, the middle lining. But it's a fantastic shot. Don't get me wrong. I love everything about this photo. The depth of field is great. It's just a lot going on to say leading lines.
And so the reason why why I ended up not talking to him, the reason why it made it through is because they are there. But again, if I just saw the photo without knowing it was leading lines, I probably wouldn't know it was leading lines. That was dropped. But as far as being an amazing photo, dang,
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'd love to be able to say I took it.
DC
there's some kind of like mind trick there, because if you see any picture and you see this is from leading lines, your brain automatically is going to be looking for leading lines.
Right.
So it's kind of tricky, but anyway, it's amazing picture.
What up, Cal?
Hey, Carl.
See, Apertoy joined us also. What's happening?
Clancy. All right. I wish I knew what these figures were. I never knew that these things existed, and I absolutely love them. I'll just say that real quick. Guys, those are cool. I would not mind getting my hands on those, and I know we're not critiquing figures, but
Yeah, wax on, wax off, son.
What did you tell me?
Right.
So, leading lines.
Wax off.
The thing that Miyagi is sitting on, the shelf there, the posts coming down from the back, the lighting in the frame there. When I first saw this, even the lines in the flooring. When I first saw this, I was kind of still questioning, is it leading lines? And one of the things that he pointed out that I wouldn't normally have said, yeah, that's a leading line, is again the direct view from the way he's looking at him, like his eye line is perfectly from Daniel to Miyagi. That line of sight creates a line that's not a leading line, that's not there, but it does create a line that makes you look right to that bowl. So I liked that part of it too. What do you think, Benny?
I love the photo, and I wish I also knew about these figures because I would definitely grab them. But I would have made a few changes just to make the leading lines a little easier. I could see what he meant with the eyes of Daniel to Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
I would have zoomed in on the shot a little more, where the step line is still drawn to Miyagi, but where Daniel was a little more blurred. But you could see Daniel's face looking directly at Miyagi to give a more clearer version of his intent for that line.
That makes a lot of sense.
I just want to know what figures these are.
Right?
These figures are from a brand called Icon Heroes.
Icon Heroes. Okay.
They are sold out, but it's kind of funny because you see their ad and it says, "Get ready to wax on. What's up with Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san?"
Daniel-san. I love it, man.
It came with a ton of accessories. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's so cool. Those figures are awesome.
I mean, Clancy takes fantastic shots, right? I mean, this is a great shot, great figures, great setup, all that stuff. I'll let him. I'll buy into his leading lines thing. I will tell you, I think that it's pretty hard to get leading lines at the angles that these figures are sitting at, and also there's leading lines are supposed to take you directly to the primary subject of the photo. This photo has a lot of subjects in it. Right. So that's I think what the problem that I have with calling it leading lines. I see it, but I mean Daniel is just as much up to me a part of this picture as Mr. Miyagi is. So that's where I would say that it doesn't hit the leading lines thing for me.
So like what Benny was saying, if you blurred Daniel out a little bit, take him out as one of the main focuses, and it would have focused more on Miyagi.
Yeah. I love it. Like that bucket and everything sitting there, and I mean it's fantastic. So
there was a lot went into the setup of that.
It kind of looks like Daniel's looking at the stick instead of Miyagi.
He's probably thinking about whacking him with it because he's tired of whacking.
I see that though, Benny. You're right. It does if you're, especially on a smaller screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of like the one earlier where it looked to me like the sharks were kind of looking at him. Again, if you would have tilted that one figure that little bit, I don't think it. I don't think that it makes it a leading line because there's no line there, but I think it enhances a leading line to have that line of vision there.
It's so fun to look. I keep saying this. It's so fun to look at great pictures and still be able to say, "But you didn't do this." So great shot, Clancy.
Amy.
Not your bro. What up, Amy?
Not your bro. All right. So she hit the leading lines. You can see the line from the log underneath. And then, but what really brings it there is the shadow line coming this way and this way. And then the log behind the figure coming to it. I probably would have zoomed in a little bit more to make the figure a little more noticeable, because when you just glance at the picture, you don't really notice the figure as much as you notice everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It is leading to one focal point, though. You're right. The leading lines are leading to one focal point, and that's her face.
Right to her face, exactly. Yep. Nico, what do you think, bud?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to be hard. I get a hard time like getting more than 2 leading lines because it's too there's a super, you can see a contrast between the sun part and the shadow and the thing that is going like a diagonal towards the figure, so I can see like 2 leading lines. I wish to see more of those textures making those leading lines.
Oh, okay, the texture of the log or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think, Benny?
I see the leading lines. I like the photo. For me, I think I would have just played again with maybe a little bit of the contrast and black point, maybe even some saturation so that the highlight on her face is a little more vibrant, so you can see where the log really leads into the hair, into the face.
Yeah. Gannon.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, I mean, the lines go straight to her face. I understand what Nico's saying too. Like, I think the leading lines, like in conceptually speaking, I want the lines to come from a similar angle going to the center or to the point. I think this is almost a 90-degree angle on the leading lines on this one, so there's almost an intersection of 2 lines at her face, if that makes sense, rather than lines kind of leading in, they kind of intersect. If that, I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but that's what I see in this particular photo. So but I mean, it hits the challenge. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Great job, Amy.
Yep.
I don't know how many, just a few more here. Well, I was concerned about not being enough just through an hour. Here we go.
Yeah, I told you, man. I told you, dude. It goes fast. Toy imagination, man. I always takes cool shots.
All right, Benny. What do you think, buddy?
So if you would have told me this shot had nothing to do with leading lines, it's perfect. Yeah. I think the overall shot is amazing. The scene is set up is amazing. I really don't see where there's a leading line to the figure besides the wall.
Right.
Just the angle of which the figure is and the wall, I could see where he feels it's a leading line. Probably would have changed maybe just the piping in the background, because it just feels like it's a line to the figure and then it's a wall in the other direction in the background.
What do you think, Nico?
Yeah, I mean, I see some leading lines. Like, you got the piping on the foreground, you got some line on the wall that is over the front of the figure, you got some lines on the floor going directly to the feet, and then in the background you got some lines from the piping, and you got lines on the middle of the wall. But it's like as Benny says, if you don't say this is a leading line, it's a perfect picture about a scene, but the lines that or the positioning of the figure inside that scene doesn't meet that much of intention of leading lines. It's casual, some lines that are leading to the figure, but you can move the figure in any position in the same diorama and the lines will be there anyway.
Makes a lot of sense. Gannon, what do you think, bud?
If the opening wasn't behind the figure and that wall went all the way to an angle, that the angle ended right behind the figure, you would have leading lines. But because it's open behind the figure, the wall where it ends stops the lines before it gets to the figure. And
so it kind of leads to the hole and not the figure.
Yeah, it leaves a hole behind him. Yep. That's but you know, like I said, I mean, fantastic shot. To imagination takes killer shots. But yeah, as far as leading lines go, I think that's what I would have done. I just would have stuck him in a corner.
Yeah, and I think that was going to be my I think that was going to be the one thing that I would have said too is where that opens up in the back, close that in, or even just a little bit to where the back wall was coming down right through his body,
through the middle. Yep.
That would have helped that out. Now again, I can see where the line that I think that was the main leading line is our left-hand side, the piping that goes, not the piping, but the small little thing that kind of leads that way. And then the one right behind him that leads this way, they're kind of like this. I think that was where the thought was, and I can see it. Is it there? Yes, it's there. Could it have been a little bit better? 4 leading lines? Yes. Could this be a better photo? I don't think so. That thing's awesome. Yeah, absolutely amazing. But I mean, you know, this is somebody that always takes amazing photos. So it's good to see.
Yep. What's up, Monk? I saw you out there, buddy.
This one was so creative and imaginative, and so they were inspired by the line in their TV to make this a leading line. And the curve of that line, again, that's where your eye goes. And then all the buildings the same way. And then even in the clouds, you can see it too. But that main line, that curve of that TV leading right to him, that's what did it for me. What do you think, Nico?
Absolutely. That's a perfect example of like you don't have more than one specific leading line, but the line that you have, it's like slapping in your face. I'm leading you into Wolverine. I'm leading you. It's amazing.
So he did a behind the scene where he kind of backed this out, and that's the view out of his window. I think that's awesome. It's Toronto, I think it was. So
that's really cool.
What do you think, Gannon?
I was just gonna say, I mean, the practical, just the way it was shot, practical like this, and super simple. I mean, like, but killer. It's almost silhouetted, just a little bit of rim up there on his shoulders and stuff, but it's an almost silhouetted shot, and that line takes you, right there, right to it. So spectacular, well done. Spectacular.
Benny, anything you would have done different?
I'm sorry.
Probably just play with like black point again, make the figure a little bit darker, just slightly. But I love the way the leading line leads into pretty much wanting to know what would happen next for a follow-up photo.
Oh yeah, is he gonna jump? All right. So excellent job at leading line. This was when he put this when it popped for me. I was like, oh, why would I not thought of using the corner of my TV to make it look like a building? I mean, it's creative. It's there's just so many cool things that happen with this photo, and he looks life size. He looks like that just looks like Wolverine. Any critique I would have had, again, the darker in the background. I think, or the making the TV itself a little bit darker would have made it even more so. But no, I mean, I could see this hanging on the wall of somebody's man cave who was a fan of Wolverine. I mean, that's just such a cool photo.
Yeah. Well done.
Do this is somebody who's fairly new to Artistry of Toys. This was their first post with us, and I think it was a good one. I love the lines in the flooring leading right up to the character. The ones up on top do the same thing. This is where, so think about this one compared to the one that we saw of Cad Bane. You see the piping on the walls actually lead the eye that way because that corner's not closed off. I think this does a better job of using those piping and using the walls to kind of lead right to that center. What do you think, Gannon?
Yeah, I was looking at the like the lights, the black lights there that he's got going across the top there, that line that leads straight in. The grates on the bottom. I know one thing for sure. I'm glad I didn't have to clean this mess up afterwards. That looks like that looks like a lot of flour, man. So, no, dude, that's a really, really cool shot, and just love what they've done with this little diorama setup here. Fantastic.
That is cool.
Yeah, just fantastic work. I mean, maybe like you just to pick that thing up and just shake it out afterwards. I don't know, but geez Louise, man.
I have a shop vac in my studio that is just for cleaning these messes up. I just vacuum it all up and then dump it back in the bucket that it came from and wipe that out. There's no trying to get this stuff where it belonged back.
You know, like
not easy to do.
It's so when you're looking at these, like I know we're just critiquing, like, but we're critiquing the leading lines and stuff like that because the rest of the shot is phenomenal. Also, it just like this just gave me this vibe of like I was looking at this and I was going, man, I want to do this shot and I want to put Vader standing down there at the end at the same angle and everything. I want to take some red cast and put it on the walls and on the ground with that that's the first
thing. That eerie feel to it.
I get that. Really, this is a great shot. Great shot. So.
Nico, what do you think, buddy?
I think that this is a great example of leading lines plus framing.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the framing is great.
You got both, and both are like they are. You can see it both. So it's an example of mixing those composition techniques and like being on a cohesive and coherent way to make it.
Framing is something that I always have a difficult time with. I know that's one that we're working on now, and I've always had kind of a difficult time with getting that right. A lot of time for me, it's finding a foreground blur. And I want everything to be in focus because that's the way I see the shot with my real eyes instead of the camera. So anybody that can do this and put the leading lines in there, that was impressive to me. What do you think, Benny?
I think the shot is amazing. For me, it would be just slight nitpicking for me. So what I would have done different is I just would have taken one of the black crates that's on the left and put it on his right-hand side, and that would have been another form of leading lines. And it would have gave a little more depth to the figure because it's beige, it's white, it's ivory. I think it just would have gave that figure a little more pop if he would have put the crate on the opposite side. But when you say leading lines, this is a prime example of what we would show for leading lines as an example for everybody to try to do.
Yeah. Hey, Jared. How you doing, man?
Hey, good. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Nope. Leading lines, man, all over the place, but great framing also. So it's an excellent shot. I really dig this.
Ooh.
So this was sent to us, and again, the admin we talked about this one because the lines in the back for the bricks are great. The only thing that I would have done a little bit different, I would have moved the figure to where the yellow line was like between his legs, or he was on the yellow line, instead of to the side of the yellow line, because they think the line leads you more to the wall than to the figure. But there's so many other things going on in the photo that it's still a leading line. It still leads you that way. So what do you think, Penny?
I agree with you. I think putting Luke Cage on the line itself, having the yellow line in between them, would have been great. I would have also probably just moved the figure that he's holding on the right side to the left side. The reason being is because he has a figure laying on the ground with the foot. If you put the figure on his other hand, the foot leads to the head, leads to his body. So it's like another line directly to Cage.
Oh yeah, I see.
But
that.
other than that, there's a lot of leading lines in here, and it's very vibrant, and it's a great shot.
What do you say, Gannon?
Okay, so TG, my dude, TG Vaughn, man, I like this guy a lot. Like all this stuff. But first off, I think when you're doing a shot that is specifically about leading lines, there is a lot going on in this photo, right? So you've got a lot of stuff in your foreground. You got a lot of stuff kind of cluttering things up here a little bit that I think takes away from any leading lines that were going up there. The yellow line's great, and I can see it, and I agree. Straddling the yellow line would have been more of a leading line. But some of the stuff that's in the front, I think, is blocking your leading line, if that makes sense. But as usual, I mean, tremendous work. Love all the Dio stuff, man. All the practical stuff. It's awesome. So,
Nico?
Absolutely agree with Gannon. I can see a couple of lines like a plain sight, but maybe a little bit more of lights on the overall scene may help you to see more of the other lines that are there also. But
so zoom in a little more and move him on top of the line. Get rid of some of the stuff in the foreground would have helped to zoom in just a hair more. Would have brought some of those lines, even the lines from the boxes and stuff on there on the side, would have had more of that pulling in effect. Great job. Great job, though, man. I love the photo. I love how much he put into it. That's just, it's so good. And that yellow shirt against that red background, that has such a cool pop of color.
It's a cool fig.
That really stands out.
Nicely done, TG.
Ooh.
Right. So, Cal,
We
didn't have to discuss. We didn't have to discuss this one. No, the way the bullets come in, and again, it's leading right to him. It's even some of the stuff in the background, you can see more of them. But those bullets, so clever the way you thought of doing that. So excellent job. Benny, what do you think, bud?
It's leading lines. It's exactly what it needed to be. I think it's a great photo, and I think it's a great idea and concept for leading lines, because when you think of leading lines, you're thinking of other things. He actually used a bullet effect to make those lines. So yeah, I think it's perfect.
What do you think, Nico?
Absolutely. Leading lines. 100% there. They are leading.
Yeah, you can't like deny that one, right, Gannon?
No, I was absolutely. Yeah, leading lines for sure. I was just looking at other stuff in the photos too. I think he did a pretty good job of blending in with the background and all of that stuff as well. So I mean, Cal,
I'll say thank you. It was a last minute shot. No way.
Oh,
this is one of his throwaways. It was just
Get out of here. Get out of here.
One thing I would say, if he turned the claw towards the face a little bit more, then the claws themselves would have pointed right to his face.
Yeah, there you go.
But again, that is a minute nitpicking little thing. Yeah. The bullets themselves, that's what makes this the leading lines.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
It's good to see so many people still here. Thank y'all for being here again. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the crowd there.
Yeah.
Let's I think we just got a couple more here.
There you go.
Pass on
this
this.
guy's a jerk.
But this picture sucks. Oh, hey,
Throw it
no,
away.
sorry,
Throw it
Nico.
away.
Hey, no.
Throw it away. No, no.
So I
I'm
had
gonna
meant
let you speak.
for,
Bye bye.
I had meant for his and mine to kind of, because we knew we were all going to be here, and Gannon actually ended up not posting his, and Benny didn't tag in here because we were going to be on here, right? So why do our own? But I wanted this to be one of the first ones that we looked at because it is such a perfect example again of leading lines. When before we did it, he sent me a photo and said, "How is this for leading lines?" I was like, "Well, of course, that's perfection." So
Go ahead.
There were chains all over the place, like chains and chains and chains.
it was
This
yeah,
this
all
should
the way
work on
around.
leading lines because they're leading.
That's excellent, man. Nico, great job. But all your stuff is awesome. I'm gonna skip past
I
Nico
appreciate
because
it.
he does. We don't need to just sit there and chat about
It's
him.
just
He's
proof
right
you'll
here.
let anybody in your collab, but whatever.
The mighty Thor.
The mighty Thor.
Yeah, he did a
a
behind the scenes on this one too. That was really cool to see him out there in the wilderness, putting his toys up there, shooting in the tree. You can see leading lines in here from the tree coming down, and then a lot of the little branches going in. But that's for me. I had to look for leading lines again to make it work for me. The tree coming down, kind of splitting him in half. That's what did it for me, was that background line coming down like into his head. But what do you think, Benny?
It's a great shot. I love Predator. But for leading lines, I can see where the back part splitting him in half shows a leading line. I feel like if he maybe would have positioned the figure more facing the left with the log that he's on, would have been a leading line to him in the position of him, like just, facing in that direction.
Yeah. What do you think, Nico?
I think that trees are perfect for simple leading lines, and I'm going to make this with a ruler in my camera. But if you put the figure and you make this with the branch, you have a leading line.
Right.
You don't have to worry about more than that.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's like where you pose the figure and how do you frame the figure, because some trees have some huge branch and you can like use all like pointing to the figure. But yeah, I have some kind of hard time looking for more leading lines than the one that makes like a arch behind and it goes down to her feet.
Yeah. Gannon, you got it. You think you would have done different on this one?
Yeah, I have the leading lines to me, like I keep saying, that it makes the figure pop out, and the figure, I think the figure blends in a little too much with this one for me. Like it's just a little bit. I think if all the branches weren't behind him going every direction, maybe it would be, I would see the lines more. And like Nico said, it's a shift. If you point down the limb towards the figure, it's exactly what Nico was saying. You're looking, there's a line going, he's standing on the branch and you're looking straight down the branch at the figure, then you have a leading line. These are intersecting lines to me.
Right.
So that's what I see. So
one quick thing that maybe should work for every kind of leading lines. Sometimes also something you can do is not use a figure that may blend with the environment. I mean, if you have a super like colorful tree and you put a green predator instead of the tree, it will blend. It doesn't matter how many like leading lines, because you lost a little bit of the character with the background. If you put I don't know, let's say like the city predator that has like blue and orange colors, it may pop up a little bit more from the background, and that should work with anything. Like if you have a Batman in a dark environment, you may lost a little bit of the figure with the environment. So try to use like different colors or some lights to make pop up the figure from the background and also add more interest to the leading lines. It's not for this picture, it's for every picture that you can have in mind.
mm-hmm.
Thor, the feeling of this photo, I love the mist in the back. I like everything. So much I like about this, man. great shot. There's just for leading lines in itself, I would have maybe just done a couple of little things different. But man, again, thank you so much for being such a big part of Artistry of Toys. You're always there. You're always helping out. You're always helping with everything. So again, thank you so much for everything you do. Beautiful shot, man.
Yep. That's a solid dude right there.
Yeah, anybody who doesn't know him, you should. He's great. That's an actual photo, man. That is not a cartoon. He showed me how he did it, and that's amazing to me.
Cool.
So, Kevin, take more toy photos. He was having difficulties with leading lines. He was he couldn't, not that he didn't know what it was. He was just having difficulties coming up with a shot. And this is the one he came up with. It is, I absolutely love it. So again, the claws, use an example of using the claws to bring your eyes in. I would have maybe made the face a little more noticeable instead of just the silhouette like that, so that it would have given you something a little more to look at. But leading lines to the center of the photo, like I think it's there. What do you think, Benny?
It's definitely leading lines. Those claws lead right to his face. I probably, excuse me, I probably just would have made it. Again, I'm a person who likes dark shadows and all that stuff. So for me, I would have made the figure actually darker because it would have highlighted his claws just a little more with that backlight. But other than that, it's perfect.
What do you think, Gannon?
You can go either way. You darken it up and go straight up silhouette on it, or you use a reflector, a bounce card, back a little bit, just get like some nuances of the face in there. But that's the lines, the leading lines are right there. So,
Nika, how would you have made that face pop out a little better, do you think? With the bounce card like that, you think? Or is this just...
Oh, man. About making that face pop out a bit, I will use some kind of snoot with a grid. Or I will use a snoot without a grid, but pointing the snoot towards a bounce and use the bounce gridded towards the face.
Yeah. I get that.
Yep. I got a comment in this picture that it's kind of weird, but I will love to see this same picture in black and white.
Oh.
With a little bit of the face showing up, a little of the face, and full black and white, like noir.
Yeah.
That would be, man.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin put that in. I mean, everybody just went, whoa.
Yeah.
The colors are cool, but you're right, man. Seeing that in a black and white would be, I'd like to see that. I might, I might just go back and switch that around myself just to see it.
Right.
All right. So Hunt is, again, very new to toy photography, new to the group, new to the community, and he's already been so active in the community. We love seeing him around. He's always here at GFPF. He's very active in artistry. We love having this guy around. I like this shot. Again, when he first turned this in, it was backed away a little bit, and the leading lines weren't, I didn't see him at all. Here, I think if I was going to take this photo, I would have moved the camera this way a little bit, like to the left, moved the figure to the left so that the line from this wall went directly to him instead of kind of to his foot. The trees in the background do kind of do the job too, but there's so much going on in the background that there's no definitive leading line when you think of the word leading line. What do you think, Nico?
It happens something similar what happened with the Predator picture, when you can use the trees as like lines, and maybe using a figure that is white on top of snow, it's kind of like you lost a little bit of the figure. Maybe you can like put the whole tree and the figure on top of the tree, so you got a huge line that is moving your eyes from the top of to the figure on the floor. That kind of like more simple shots with lines.
Right. Yeah, I get that. Benny, what would you have done different, buddy?
I think it's a fun shot, but I think there's too much in the background going on to have, like you said, like a definitive line. Maybe if there was only one tree in the background, and then you angled it better from the tree that's on the left, the figure, and then what would have been one tree in the background. That would have made it a lot clearer.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's like I said, it's a fun shot. It's just so much in the background, a lot of branches. It gets distorted almost.
Right. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
He was just a collab early on this one because that was framing again.
Yeah, the framing was real good on that one, and we seem to a lot of times getting those two things do get a little confused with one from the other.
Yeah.
This one did not get confused. The line from the spider web, obviously, but then all of the tentacles, I guess, would come down, and a leading line doesn't need to be straight. We said that before, and all of those point right to him. God, it's just a cool shot too, man. I'd love to be in that weather, but it's such a beautiful shot. And I know we're just talking about leading lines, but man, the focus on this shot is pristine. I love the focus on it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gannon?
I think it's great. I love all the way that all the points are pointing back towards the face. Maybe if I would have brought the hand up a little bit closer to the chin and shot the web down kind of towards the bottom of what would be our right hand side, and to where it looked like that line was maybe leading a little bit more to his head rather than to his midsection, if that makes sense, because I think the focal point of everything else is right on his head. But that's nitpicking, and it's a phenomenal job and tack sharp. So
kind of like what we were saying before, if a line comes from one of the corners, so if that line had been at the corner, it would have been straight up towards his face.
Yep.
When a line is coming from a corner, it always makes that leading line a little easier to follow.
Yep.
Just something to think about when you're setting up a shot that you want an intentional leading line. What do you think, Nico?
No, yeah, but I have some kind of thing with the wall on the left. But overall, the leading lines of the tentacles will supply that kind of thing that I'm seeing on that wall. The spider web, kind of I'm losing it from where it goes to.
Yeah, because it's kind of in towards this midsection.
Mm-hmm.
What would you have done different, Benny?
I probably just would have gotten rid of the web. That top tentacle to his face is the perfect line.
Yeah.
Even if he was just hanging there without the web, that would have been perfect in itself. But overall, great photo and great focus as well.
Yeah, that is
if you take the picture more from the front and you see those tentacles pointing from behind of him toward his front, you will see more like a leading line properly.
Yeah.
That one front, like Benny said, that one front claw, man, that does it. That's so cool. You could almost just zoom in on just that part of the photo.
Yeah.
And that would be really cool too. Have it this way and have just that one claw in his head. And that would be really cool too.
Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting down to I thought we were almost to the nitty-gritty here. So Black Series and Natural Light. This is let me get trouble getting back on over to our screen here. Gannon, what do you think, buddy?
So when you have multiple figures in the photo, he did these right. They're in the background back there, and kind of feeding into the same angle, the Dutch angle that's here. The leading lines are cool on this one because of the angles that we were talking about earlier, shooting up from the corner and coming up to the center. They almost with leading lines, you almost this is almost framing again, though. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is there's so many great lines in this photo, but the lines don't necessarily draw me right to Ben's face.
Yeah.
Okay, or which is what I'm assuming we are wanting here. The framing's great because, you know, I look at the photo as a whole and I love the way it's framed, like in several different ways here. But when I think of leading lines, like I said, I think of it going directly to what is it that you want people to look at in your photo? Like, what's the primary object in the photo? And the lines kind of go past. He's I call them intersecting lines rather than leading lines. But it's a fantastic shot. So,
what do you think, Benny?
It's a great photo, but I agree. I feel like, so if I'm looking at this photo for the first time and I knew it was for leading lines, I would say it's not for me because my eye doesn't go drawn to the thing. It goes to Mr. Fantastic all the way in the background. So I feel like if he would have not put them in, it would have made the leading lines a lot easier because the focus is thing. And there's the platform that he's on, which led towards him, and also what he's holding above. But because Mr. Fantastic and Johnny are in the background, it's almost like I'm drawn more to what they're trying to do in the background.
Because the gap between the flooring and what he's holding above his head in itself creates a big giant line back to them. Yeah. But here's an example of trees in the background that aren't distracting.
Sorry, I have 9 cats.
and they all have 9 lives, so you're in big trouble.
Oh my God.
Nico, what do you think, sir?
No, same as Benny. Having those figures on the background is like the huge line that between the floor and the thing that the thing is holding on makes a line towards those figures. If the idea is to drop the attention to the thing, maybe you need to like rotate it a bit or make something that make the attention go more full into the face. I was gonna say that first.
Yeah. Excellent job, though, man. I absolutely love this photo. He was talking about some of the stuff that he set this up on. He's got this really cool place out in his backyard that's got some stuff in it. You know, I like hearing the stories behind the photos too.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Where are we?
Oh,
so this is Sully,
this is nice.
and to me, so this is the epitome of leading line. I don't think you can get more leading line than this. The box itself, all of the lines from the box, everything absolutely leads your eye right to him. That's fantastic. And you could, between him and then what his hand is doing down with the rat, like it tells such a cool story. And it's all because of the leading lines that does it. What do you think, Gannon?
Yeah, you couldn't have said about even the grain in the wood, like everything, like it's just like leading right in there to where it wants to be. And clever use of, the vignette that we were talking about earlier. This is a really well done background. The color play in the background's fantastic. You take all of it and it feeds right into that figure's face. And really, I don't even the hand on the creature reaching for the keys is really and like that's the focal point for me, but it's cool. I think that's where I'm seeing the lines going. He's reaching for those keys with that rat down there. So
yeah,
fantastic.
What do you think, Benny?
Sully's an amazing artist,
right?
And he spares no expense, if you want to call it that, to detail. Like his photos show, and this photo is definitely leading lines. And for me, is like there's not a lot going on inside the box, but there's stuff going on inside the box, and you think that would take away from the lines, but it doesn't. It actually adds your focus to it. And then I also see, like, if you look at the rat that's upward towards the hand, it leads to the other rat. That's another line.
Right.
It's just fantastic.
Sully's another one of the admins for Artistry of Toys. This is one of the reasons why, right? He's a phenomenal artist. So whenever there's anything that we have questions about or something that we're working on, it's always good to run things by him. He's got a great eye for the things.
Yeah.
So excellent job, Sully. Love having you here, buddy. And that was the last one, guys.
Well, you took it out with a good one.
So thanks to everybody who stopped in, who's been chatting, said hello. It's been great to have everybody here. I got to get this off of my screen. There we go. And we're going to hopefully, this will be once a month. For the first couple of months, I would say we're going to do this once a month. It'll always be based on whatever we're working on for Artistry of Toys. We'll go through these photos, and hopefully it's a way for people to learn different styles, different things to do with their own photos to help grow in the community. And that's kind of what Artistry of Toys is about. So even if you're not part of Artistry of Toys, if we can't get you in, absolutely look me up. Any of the guys that are on here, I know they've all said the same thing. If you have questions, you need help, you're looking for something that you just can't quite get, I might not be able to either, but I might be able to do it, or I could at least lead you to somebody who could. We're all here to help this community grow, to help each other grow in our art, because this is an art form. It's a hobby, yes. It's collectors. It's got such a wide variety of people in the community. But when you break it right down to it, it really is an art form to get it to where you want it to be. Whether you're somebody who wants to show the figures themselves, or if you're somebody who wants to make a story, make it more cinematic, whatever your goal is, this is such a way to do it. Is making it the art. So again, please continue to come back, tune into us, subscribe, like it, follow us, follow Artistry of Toys. Now has its own there. Follow us there, and I'll drop more in there about what we're doing. So even if you're not part of the collaborations, you'll see what we're working on or what we've just recently worked on, and be able to help everybody continue to grow. If you are interested in being in the group, as I said at the beginning, please send me a message. We're almost full right now. I think we might have a couple. I'm not exactly sure how many, but I do have a waiting list that goes on also, so that if somebody does drop out, we'll bring somebody else in. And thanks everybody again for being in. I hope we didn't bore you too much. You guys have anything to say on your exit? Gannon?
Yeah, like and follow the video, please. Show Jamie some love. Show the GFPF crew some love. Think it was a fantastic first show, Jamie. These will just get bigger and better, and like it always does, with these shows. Very, very glad to hang out with Benny. It's my first time hanging out with you, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah,
had a blast.
Yeah, man, it was a good time.
Benny, when we get out of here, stay on, by the way. We'll chat for a little while after the show.
Yeah, we got a bunch of shows, man. Whole bunch of stuff. You guys see us on Sundays here. You guys see us on Wednesday nights at After Dark. We got a Thursday show. Had a phenomenal show last night. We really had a good time with the tournament. That was a lot of fun. I guess that was 2 nights ago, Friday night.
Yeah.
But Wednesday.
Yeah, go back and watch that tournament if you guys haven't seen it yet. That thing was so fun. It's worth the rewatch. That was a blast.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys again. We're going to say goodnight. This went a little bit longer than we had thought, but we do appreciate everybody sticking around with us. So y'all have a great night.
Have a good night, everybody.